Alright guys, Jar6 and welcome back to the channel. So we got the Kershaw Volt SS here in the compound for testing and evaluation. And I gotta tell you guys, frame lock, very cool design, very cool knife. So far I like it. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna hit the table, we're gonna talk some good things, we're gonna address some of the bad things as well. So with that being said guys, let's go ahead and let's get started. Alright guys, so here we are with the Kershaw Volt SS. Now this is an improvement from the Volt II. I don't have one of those, so I cannot compare them, but I think this one is bigger. Now I gotta tell you guys, this knife is just beautiful. I do really like it, and I do really enjoy it. I mean, the finish is just amazing. The blade, the way that the whole knife looks, it just looks very nice, and I do like that. It's a frame lock design, which I do like as well, and I gotta tell you guys, just a beautiful knife. Now you could buy it for about $29 on Amazon, 25 bucks used. Again, when you put shipping and things like that, you're probably looking at 32 to 35 bucks. But again, very nice looking knife. Weighs pretty much nothing. I am going to put the specs down below so you could go and check out the specs, but it's very lightweight, so it is so easy to carry guys. And I got to tell you, being a frame lock design, frame lock knife compared to liner lock, and I got a red one here so you guys could tell just the difference. Look how bulky the red one is compared to this knife guys. I mean, red one and pretty much a lot of the liner lock designs are pretty bulky. That's one of the things that I like about frame lock designs. They're not bulky at all, so they're easy to carry. So I do like that very much. Alright guys, so let's talk about some of the rolls. So I gotta tell you, me personally, this is gonna be an EDC knife. I think we pretty much all know that. It is definitely a utility knife to cut boxes, to cut paper, you know, things like that. But I wouldn't recommend this knife as you know, something like the red one. If you work in a warehouse or a place where you have to do a lot of cutting, this is definitely a better choice. But I would recommend this for somebody that maybe works in some type of office, if you're allowed to carry a knife. Maybe somebody that sells cars, you know, a person that has to kind of dress up a little bit, just because it looks so nice. And at the same time, you're going to be doing some cutting, but you're not going to do mass cutting. Because I got to tell you guys, we're going to talk about the handle. It's pretty slick and provides no traction. So we're going to talk about that as we go with the video. So again, I wouldn't recommend this for a person that is going to be continually cutting boxes. Maybe, like I said, you work in a warehouse, in the shipping area, receiving area, so constantly using your knife. I would recommend this more for somebody that uses it every now and then, and one looking for a knife that looks very good, and you know, you probably have to dress very professional work and things like that. This is the kind of knife that I would recommend for that person. Now, definitely EDC knife, like I mentioned, very slim, very easy to carry, and extremely lightweight. Alright guys, so let's take a look at some of the specs. And like I said, I'm going to put the specs down below. Just go ahead and open the description and go ahead and look at some of the specs. But again, the blade is going to be ACR13 MOV, you know, made in China. Everyone knows that. If you find a knife from Kershaw that is around 30 bucks, it's probably going to be made in China, and that's the steel that you're going to get. Now, it is a frame lock, as I mentioned, which means it's going to be very slim, very easy to carry. Now, looking at the knife, one of the things that I noticed, as you could tell, it wasn't hard to open, but it's not as smooth as some of the other knife that I got from Kershaw. I mean, some of the Kershaw's knife, you just tap it and it's going to deploy very well. Now, this one is not. I heard some people were having the same issue, and I heard that it gets better as you play with it. And to tell you the truth guys, it's probably true, because it is getting better as I work it and as I, you know, use it on a daily basis. But again, you're gonna have a hole back here for a lanyard, I'm assuming. And I gotta tell you guys, I'm not really sure that's for a lanyard or not, because it's very small. So I don't know what kind of lanyard you're gonna be able to put through that. Now you could use it tip up. Let's see, I think it's only tip up, or actually tip down, as I was. You can use it left or right. You got the holes right there. You can see the holes back here. So again guys, it's going to conceal very well. You can tell that clip is pretty much all the way down, so it's going to conceal. I mean, you barely going to see anything. Just going to conceal excellent. Now, looking at the jimping, I gotta tell you, that's the most The part that I like more about this knife, this jimping is just amazing. I mean, the traction that you get with that jimping. I mean, you grab this knife and the jimping just stop your finger. I mean, you get amazing traction with that jimping. Again, the flipper right there, as you deploy the knife, the flipper become a finger guard, which is very common in a lot of Kershaw knives as well. Alright guys, so looking at the handle material, you're looking at 410 stainless steel Bead-Blasted finish. And I gotta tell you guys, it provides zero traction. As you grabbing this knife, I mean, it's just no traction at all. If you see the right one here, you get a little bit of traction, not as much, but you do get that texture in there. It provides a little bit of traction. This knife provides zero traction. I mean, the only traction you're gonna get is the jimping and this jimping back here, which by the way, I just don't like. I prefer a knife to be up in construction, so if it gets bloody, if it gets dirty, if it gets anything, you could just wash it out. So I really hate this thing. It's kind of like a rubber kind of thing that provides jimping. Again, I don't like it. But other than this right here, that is gonna give you a little bit of traction, I gotta tell you guys, the handle, it provides zero traction. But again, I wouldn't discount that as something negative. It's just the design of this knife. Like I said, very clean knife, extremely clean. As you can see, you have no studs. I mean, it's just a nice, clean looking knife. So I don't hold that against the knife, but just keep in mind you're not gonna have any traction. And to tell you the truth, guys, it is getting a little bit scratched. So I don't know how good that finish is. Again, it's only 30 something bucks, so you get what you pay for. But I could see a couple of scratches all around the knife. So again, I don't know how long this clean design is gonna last for. It does feel amazing in your hand. Again, I got about medium-sized hands. I could hold the knife with no issue. I mean, it just feels amazing, extremely good. I really like how it feels. But again, you're not going to have any traction on the handles at all. Alright guys, so I talked about EDC, I talked about a utility knife, but I got to tell you, I definitely see this as a defensive blade as well. I like to carry a knife that is not only a utility tool, it's also a tool that I could use to defend myself. Again, is it the best choice? Definitely not. Is it my number one choice? Definitely not. But if something happened, can I defend myself with this knife? I think you could. I mean, again, I'm talked about the traction, barely any traction, but the jimping in the front and this jimping in the back, it does give you a good purchase of the knife. You do have good control. I mean, the knife just feels amazing in my hand. And this blade, guys, I mean, it's a pretty good size blade. The way that it's designed with this belly up here could definitely do a lot of cuts, and that point could definitely do a lot of stabbing as well. So again, is it my first choice? Definitely not. But can I use it to defend myself? Definitely you can. So it was definitely sharp when I got it, but it wasn't extremely sharp. I mean, I did use it out there. I went through a bunch of cardboard and I did some stabbing and I did some other tests and some of the cardboard that I had outside in my backyard. And it was sharp. It did the job, but it wasn't extremely sharp. I'm definitely seeing other knife out there, like the red one comes out of the box extremely sharp. So I definitely see myself sharpening this knife in the near future. But I gotta tell you guys, overall, I would recommend this knife. There's a lot of knives nowadays in the market, so it comes down to the fact of what do you like. There's so many choices out there that it's going to be up to you. If you like this design, if you think it looks clean, if you think it looks like something that could go with your attire, what you wear every day. Me personally, I would recommend it. I think it looks extremely clean, extremely nice. I mean, it just has that clean design. Easy, wear very well, easy to conceal. So I can see this knife as part of my rotation. Alright guys, if you guys like videos like this, make sure you click like, subscribe to the channel. Definitely appreciate when you share my videos. And as always guys, God is in control.